Hi, so I'm back. I have been busy for a while, but meanwhile I have been reading everything that you have been writing, so I'm now sitting at my desk and the light is better, the webcam is better, and I'm also going scriptless, as many of you have suggested, so if at any point in this video I'm going to stutter or just stop making any sense at all, remember that it was your idea. Also, I got my braces off, so I'm going to do smiling and I may even look enthusiastic about stuff. This video will be about World of Warcraft books. Many people have been asking me what books they should start with, and I believe that it's different from one person to another, the books that he or she should start reading with. So I have come up with 3 good starts for the whole World of Warcraft books. So I'm going to go through them and why all starts are awesome. And then in the end I'm just going to go through all the books and I'm going to say the order that I have read all the books in. So that did not go well. Meanwhile, I did write a script, so I'm planning to do a better job this time. So I'm going to start by presenting the 3 good starts that I have previously mentioned, and then I will go through all the books that I have read in the same order that I have. Now, they might not be perfectly chronological, but I never had a problem understanding anything. This is the first start that I have come up with. It begins with War of the Ancients, which is the perfect book to begin in my opinion. It has a lot of content about Malfurion, Tyrant, Illidan, Ajara, that great dragon aspect. It has everything, and not to mention it contains the most epic and greatest battle of all times. Afterwards you can continue with Storm Rage if you want to learn more about Malfurion, the Druids, or the Emerald Dream. Or you can continue with Day of the Dragon if you want to learn more about Neltarian's fate and how the Alliance and the Horde played their parts in that. And then you can continue with Night of the Dragon. This is start 1. So this is the second great start and it begins with Rise of the Horde. Now I personally believe that all players should read this book at some point or another. It contains a lot of information about the history of the orcs and the history of the Horde, which play such a big part in this game. After they came to Azeroth, everything changed for everyone. Not to mention Warlords of Draenor is going to arrive soon, and you're going to want to read this book if you want to really know what happened in the lands that you're going to explore. Then you can continue with Lord of the Clans, which is one of the 4 books that are in this book, which tells the life of Thrall, which is the son of Draka and Durotan, and you get to learn more about his life from his birth to the moment when he became the leader of the Horde. It's an amazing book. Or you can also continue with The Last Guardian. That book was absolutely amazing because the action took place in Karazhan, which is such an enchanting place. Not to mention you get to learn more about Medivh, who is such an intriguing character. You can also continue with Beyond the Dark Portal, but honestly I never actually finished it, so I can't really recommend it. But yeah, this is start 2. If you are a Horde player, you could really love this. Now this is the third start that I would recommend. It begins with Arthas, ideally. Now it tells the story of Arthas Menethil, also known as the Lich King. And it is an absolutely mandatory part of the lore, and if you are a lore connoisseur, you might really want to get through these pages. Not to mention it has a lot of insight on how the humans fought against the famous plague, and also it has a lot of insight on Jaina's relationship with Arthas, which changed her so very much. After reading Arthas, you can continue with the Shattering. It tells the story of how Garrosh came to power, and it also tells you a lot about Jaina's stance on diplomatic issues, and not to mention the reaction of all leaders to the prelude of the Cataclysm. Then you can continue with these 3 books, the Sunwell Trilogy, and they are all mangas, so it will take you less than an hour to go through, and it will help you understand the next book that I'm going to tell you about, and not to mention you're going to hear a lot about Blood Elves and how they reacted to the plague. The next book is Tides of War, and it mainly focuses on Jaina, on Terra Morale, and on Garrosh. I promise you that it will leave you in tears. and it explains a lot about the political views of many characters in War Crimes. It explains you a lot about of the emotional paths that many characters will be going through, and it's absolutely brilliantly written, and I really recommend you read it. This book is the most recent one. It is written by Christy Golden, who is amazing, and it is called War Crimes. It makes the connection between Mists of Pandaria and Warlords of Draenor, and it is pretty much a psychological novel because it goes very deep into the emotional paths that many important characters have gone through, such as Verissa, Varian, Jaina, and pretty much every faction leader. It's absolutely amazing, and you really have to read it. Alright, so now I'm going to go through all the books that I have read in the exact same order. Now I haven't written them down, so I'm just going to go through by memory, so wish me luck. Now my first book was Well of Eternity, The Demon's Soul, The Sundering, Day of the Dragon, The Last Guardian, Lord of the Clans of Blood and Honor, The Shattering, The Sunwell Trilogy, Night of the Dragon, Tides of War, Beyond the Dark Portal, Rise of the Horde, War Crimes, Storm Rage, Arthas, and I think this is it. This is all I can remember. Now I'm just going to go ahead and speak in Romanian to say something to my Romanian viewers, so if you're not fluent in Romanian, you might as well turn off the video now. M-au întrebat mulți oameni de unde îmi găsesc cărțile. Mi-am cumpărat multe din cărți în Anglia când am fost în ceva excursie, dar după aia am găsit un site genial, nu chiar genial, dar foarte bun, unde sunt toate cărțile și sunt în limba engleză, care e foarte important pentru că traducerile sunt foarte proaste. The Sunwell Trilogy am citit în română și erau lucruri gen morții vii pentru Undead. Dar asta e altă poveste. În fine, pe booksexpress.ro o să dau link-ul mai jos. Găsiți toate cărțile de care aveți nevoie și pentru orice sfaturi puteți să mă contactați pe Facebook. Asta a fost tot. Mulțumesc pentru vizionare. Thank you for viewing. If you still went through the Romanian part, that's nice. I guess I'll see you next week. Bye!